Everything's on fire everywhere.
1,000 acres I read on the news so far.
It is the oldest formation in our cave.
Well, friends, welcome to Wild and Wonderful West Virginia on Fire. This is part 2 of our series here, where we're staying at Lost River Campground, which is just over there. And we were supposed to be hiking up at Lost River State Park. We were supposed to show you one of the best overlooks in the state of West Virginia. Right now, that particular overlook and its surrounding forest is all on fire. It's burning. And we're standing here at a reservoir just across the road from our campground. We're hoping to get a glimpse of one of the helicopters that's been flying back and forth and picking up water from the lake and taking it up to the state park, and hoping to put out those forest fires so that hopefully someday we can finally make it to the Lost River State Park and make it to the Cranny Crow overlook. Also in this episode, we're going to be taking you over to Smoke Hole Caverns. That'll be tomorrow morning. Yeah, that's our alternative plan. We were, like I said, supposed to be hiking, but we're going to Smoke Hole. And we also have another alternate plan, which will hopefully be shared with you in next week's episode. So you want to subscribe to this channel. You don't want to miss a second of what's going on down here in West Virginia. Goes off to Lost River State Park to get those drone views that we just weren't able to get today. He's getting the exact view that I wanted to show you.
You know what's funny is you called the day before we came down to ask for permission to drone, and they gave you permission. So like this fire,
well, this happened yesterday.
Is like brand new, like very new occurrence. So that's just crazy.
Yeah.
1,000 acres I read on the news so far. Yeah.
It's a real shame when this kind of stuff happens. I mean, it's not just a shame for us because we don't get to do it, and it's not a shame for you that we don't get to share it for you. It's a shame for the forest and the wildlife.
There's displaced too. Like, this isn't the only one, and there's been people displaced because of this.
Everybody at the campground was saying that yesterday, as they were watching the fire from the campground, that they were afraid that they were going to have to evacuate from here. Personally, I don't think that there's any reason to be afraid here. We're surrounded by fields, and I just really don't think that it would affect us. But yeah, it's scary when that kind of stuff happens in a place where you're around.
Last night when we were walking the dogs after dark, you could see the glow in the sky from the fires. I've never personally experienced anything like this before.
Yeah, so we wanted to walk up here and get a cool glimpse of the helicopter coming and going. But yeah, we're gonna go back to the camper and we're gonna make some fish dinner, because this is
the Friday before Good Friday. We are still within Lent, so
we're gonna go make some fish, and then in the morning we're gonna take you over to Smoke Hole. So we've come up with an alternative plan, and we're pretty excited about it actually. So let's get to it. So this campground here is really nice. It looks like they've just recently redid the roads and stuff, and the sites are real level, and there's not a lot of space between them. That's the only drawback that I've seen. And then these sites over here really aren't probably level, but that's okay. I think that's kind of different experience on different sides. But we've enjoyed it here for sure. We're gonna take the kids over to the playground right now. I'm gonna show you that, and hopefully it's not too windy. Hopefully you can actually hear me. But in this valley, it just seems like the wind just rushes through here. So here there is actually a pool. So in the summer months, I'm sure you could hang out there. It looks like it's a nice pool. I think this is the office, but I'm not even really sure. It's not open this time of year. You just check in with the host at the winter months. But yeah, not really sure about that. What's all included there. But there's a nice pavilion here. And then over there is a playground, which the kids were really excited about. So that's why we have made our way over here now. All in all, I have some really good things to say about the campground. It's affordable. Full hookup sites for 40 some bucks a night is only a few dollars more than we normally pay for state parks. And yeah, full hookups really is a good convenient thing. We don't mind having full hookups, especially if it's affordable. So yeah, kudos to this place. Got a nice kind of community fire pit here by the playground, and a beautiful stamped concrete area. Nice pavilion. What are your thoughts on the campground?
It's smaller than I was expecting, and it's definitely, right now, we're in the off season, but right now it's definitely geared more towards long-term or permanent
seasonal
campers.
Type of campers, yeah.
So I don't know what it's like in the summer. I don't know if it's more filled with like kids in the summer. I don't know what it's like, but I mean, it seems to be fairly pet friendly. Obviously, keep your dogs on a leash, pick up after them and everything, but they've got a designated pet waste area over there. I haven't been in the bathhouse yet, but I mean, they've got a shower house, there's a pool right there. It's pretty cool.
Very close to Lost River State Park, so
yes.
Like that's why we're here. That's why we're gonna have to come back here to visit that state park, which is normally one of the bigger attractions of the area. And it was what, 10 minutes for us to get there from here?
Yeah.
And it's really the only thing that's close to there. So, you know, if you want to go there, you got to come here.
Unless you want to stay in one of their cabins, but
yeah,
they've got 26 cabins down at the state park, but that's the only lodging overnight accommodations that I'm aware of.
But this is an adequate RV park. There's nothing wrong with it. So I would say this is a good place to come. Alright, well friends, good morning. As you can probably tell, it's raining, which is great for putting out the forest fires that this area is currently plagued with. They were calling for like an inch of rain between the overnight and this morning. Luckily for us, our adventures today don't rely on good weather, because our alternative plan for the day is to go to Smoke Hole Caverns and Log Cabin Resort. It's a rather touristy thing from what we gather, but hey, what else are you going to do on a rainy day? It's nowhere near where we're at, which is Lost River Campground here, but everything around here, the only thing really around here is the state park, which obviously is still deemed unsafe for travel. We've got the kids all packed up. The dogs are good to go for the day. Did you give the dogs water?
Yeah.
Okay. So the dogs are good to go, and that bin has been outside open in the rain, and all my stuff is soaking wet. Alright, well, another crisis averted. Are we excited to go see a cave, Sarah?
Yay!
Is Rachel excited to go see a cave?
Yeah, I'm excited to go see this cave.
I'm excited to see the fish.
So, when you can't do what you want to do, you got to find something else to do. So, that's what we did. It actually, I mean, it's something, from what I understand, is worth seeing, so.
We've passed it a number of times down here, so I'm glad that we're finally going to get to do it.
And below that, we have a little mountain man club to give our prairie dog a high five. Down here, we have a cupcake as the shadow is dicing. Below that, we have a wolf trying to get a big old bite out of that cupcake. And to the left over here, we have a black cat just chilling on a rock. Alright, and if you guys also take a look in front of us right here, you may notice something a little bit different about this rock. So this rock actually runs vertical instead of horizontal, and that's because when the PNG hit, the tectonic plates collided and actually shifted our cave a full 90 degrees. So if you guys take a look back up at Prairie Dog Station, then you guys can see that 90-degree bend in the rocks. And if you were to imagine what this cave looked like before all this happened, we are now standing on one of the sidewalls. To the left of us is what used to be the ceiling. Above us was the other sidewall. And to the right of us is what used to be the flooring. And if you can't see it, once again, feel free to move around wherever you would like to. But the exhibits in it is actually where the water used to flow. Alrighty guys, we are going up another set of stairs, so please watch your steps. Alrighty guys, so this is what we like to call our caves aquarium. And if you guys take a look over the railing and into the water, you will see 6 fish total in here. So there are 3 golden trout and 3 rainbow trout. And the reason why they can stay in here is because we provide them with everything they need, such as food, fresh water, oxygen, and light. This is actually the only room in the cave that the lights stay on all day and all night so these fish do not go blind. And if you look on either side of the wall, you can see some cave coral. So this is where the water line in the cave used to be, which is no longer active, so if you guys would like to touch that, I'm giving you the okay to do so. But if you're leaning over the railing to touch it, just don't lean over too far because we don't want you guys swimming with the fish today. What is that?
Mommy, I can do this.
We're going to feed them as we go across, okay?
I feel it.
Okay. Yep.
Can I have some more?
Let William do because he missed.
Fish. I want to feed some.
Okay, here. Here, there's one right there. Let's go, dude. There they are. Here they came up. Okay, now we're all done. We gotta follow.
Yeah. Come on, Will, follow mommy. Follow mommy.
In front of me right here, you can see our Queen's Canopy. So this is very special to us because it is the oldest formation in our cave. This is about 13 million years old. And below that, we have our Queen's bathtub, which is filled with change. And we take the change out once per year and give it to a charity.
It was cool. It was about 40 minutes, our tour. The tour guide, you could tell like she memorized her script and everything, but there were so many puns. Like you had to be really paying attention to catch all of the rock puns. Like every other sentence had one in it, and it was funny. And she was just deadpan about it too. Like she's completely didn't react at all, so you really had to pay attention. But that was a really cool experience. There's a lot of active rooms in the cave, so that was cool to see. They do have an artificial fish pond back there that they feed the fish and aerate the water so the fish survive and leave the lights on for them and stuff. So that was cool. The kids
That was the coolest part, I think.
The kids got to feed the fish, so.
Some of those features in there were like huge.
There's a kitchen.
Yeah, there was a part of the tour was like a cave kitchen, and there was a story that went along with it. And one of the other coolest things was there was a room in the cave that during some time in the distant past, like tectonic activity,
Mommy?
tilted the cave like this.
90 degrees,
So
yeah.
we were walking on like the sidewall, and the ceiling was over here and the floor was over here, so that was cool.
Yeah, and you could see where the tectonic plates literally were like bent over. It was the neatest thing I've ever seen as far as being in a cave goes.
It's not the biggest cave I've ever been in. I think the Laurel Caverns back home is, I think, bigger, at least as far as what you can explore and walk through. But this was still really cool.
There's only so much I can film with a cave, and I don't want to just film the whole tour for you. You need to come experience it for yourself. That's the best way. It's worth it to come here.
Yeah.
What did we pay to get in?
It's $17 for adults, $12 for kids, 5 through 12 years of age, and then kids 4 and under are free.
So it's a very affordable thing and a really nice gift shop and a great thing to do when the weather or your other plans don't cooperate. Friends, hopefully, if all goes well, next week's episode will take us up to the chimney tops of North Fork Mountain Trail. That's our plan to go do that right now after we get some food, so that's where we'll catch up with you at the trailhead, and we'll see you next week at 5 o'clock.